behavior of people of birth number 4 is different from people. They are very outspoken people. They have no filters. That is one thing that can at times come in their path and trouble them. Hi, today we shall be discussing about number 4. Number 4 is the number of the planet Venus, or we call it Rahu also. And it's a considered a pseudo planet and considered to be careful of. Though of course it has its advantages also, and there are a lot of things that every number has gains or drawbacks. So, in the same manner, number 4, all people coming under number 4, number 13, number 22, number 31. Now, all people whose birth dates fall on these dates, that means they are a number 4 of any month. At times, people usually talk about number 13 being an unlucky number, and its total is number 4. Thing is that it does have its effects of certain areas in life, but every country has their own belief system of believing in numbers and taking certain numbers as very lucky, or maybe kind of an omen for their country. So there are some countries where number 13 is considered a bad omen, and people do not like to do things on the 13th, or may not have seat numbers in their vehicle they're traveling, if it's a public transport or the aeroplanes. But somehow number 4, 13 especially, is considered a number to be careful of. Whenever their running age comes to a number 4, like this year it's 2023, so it's a number 7, 2 plus 2 plus 3. Next year it's going to be 8. So whenever it comes to a 4 or an 8, they need to be watchful, because number 4 and number 1 are considered to be very similar in a few things, though number 1 has certain other qualities which maybe number 4 does not have, but they are considered like two sides of a coin. And the number 1 actually is the most compatible number with number 4. I mean, if anybody has to get married, then the best match would be of a number 4 and a number 1. These two numbers are mostly in sync, and they vibe well with each other. At times, it's usually said that it doesn't know in which direction to go to. And there are times when it can take people into the wrong direction. Because very often, like in astrology, they talk about Rahu and Ketu. In the same way, it's thought that number 4 can give you problems at times, and people should be careful on dates of number 4. And certain countries, as I said before, they believe that number 13 is not right. In the same manner, they consider number 4 also not being right. They will not keep a 4th floor, or they will not keep a 4 or a room number, because they believe that it has something to do with something mystical. At times movies are made on it. You must have seen that, like Friday the 13th. But they consider that Friday and being the 13th put together, when they come together, it could be something which could be very mystical or something related to occult. But that's a belief system. Some people believe in it, some do not believe in it. And this is entirely up to them. Actually, usually when we are talking about number 13, as 13 is considered maybe a bad omen, in a way, if you see the other side of number 13, it shows you more things behind the curtain, things that one cannot see in the open, or everybody cannot see, but certain people can. That doesn't mean that it's something related to evil, but what you cannot see ahead in front of you, maybe there is something behind the curtain which you should know and you will get to know. So that is why number 13 is considered a number to be of mystery. Otherwise, there is no problem in the number. It is just that it's a number which people associate with. People make a lot of money also if they have that number. But number 4 is usually related to, if anybody has a number 4, they may do well in life, they may achieve a lot, but they have to save themselves from injuries and problems, physical ailments, in which they could have a problem, which could increase or could be problematic for them. So they have to be careful. They are more prone to accidents and all that. It's said that number 4 people should be careful on all these dates because things which are, of course, it's inevitable whatever happens, but if you're believing in a certain science and if you're following it, then you will see that the frequency of those things and those things happening, and those things will make you start believing, yes, that this is true and there is something in it that we should be careful about or we should know more about. So that's how people get curious to know more about the number, which any number they own. Some are interested in all numbers, like numerologists are all interested in all numbers because this is a very unique science and it has so much of value and knowledge behind. Like it's fold under fold, you'll find information. Maybe after every few days, someone will find out something new about something. As I said before, that number 1 and number 4 are connected. They're two sides of a coin. And that is the reason why number 4 is also considered as having some connection with the sun. And as we have seen that all numbers have a connect with some planet or the other. The other planets are usually considered as gas giants and having different kind of gases. But this planet, it's known more for the icelands and a different planet from the other planets. It's considered different in various aspects. That's why the behavior of people of birth number 4 is different from people. They are very outspoken people. They have no filters. That is one thing that can at times come in their path and trouble them. And it's number 4 is a controversial number also. Like controversial in the sense that it makes you become so open and loud and you talk out so much without using any filters. You say so much that it can cause problems if that person is not known to you. It can drag you to in legal matters, or you could have some kind of controversy with somebody, whether in your own office or in the same field or maybe in the same house, because they're very vocal and one must think before talking. There are times when certain things said cannot be taken back. So this is one thing that they have a problem with, that they do not know how to stop themselves from saying certain things. And as I said, controversy of course comes up. They are very so much at times in speaking out aloud that they can end up having a tiff with their boss also, or anybody senior to them, or maybe the parent of in your house. They forget where to draw the line. This is a thing at times. This can go against them. So they should be careful about this aspect, that they should not be so vocal about just wanting to say anything to anybody. But there's another side to it. They are very, very good to people who work below them. They have a very strong feel. for people who are maybe of a low standard of them, maybe financially less sound, or any worker working in a factory or in their office who is maybe not doing well or has a problem or has faced a problem with a company or institution that they're working with. So then they will go to any level to fight a battle for them. Even if they are asked to or not, they will butt in and they will take a stand for that person. So this is a very nice thing, though of course they harm themselves a lot in the process. But if you see it from the other perspective of morality, it's supposedly a very good thing to stand for people, especially a person who is being suppressed or a person who cannot stand up for himself. So this is one very good side of this. Number four, at times you can say that people under the number four, their birth number, they think in an opposite direction to the person that they're interacting with. Usually they do not come to the same terms talking about things. It's always talking from the other viewpoint, which could be argumentative or which could may not be right for the moment, but they have that thing of doing this, which can again, because they talk from the opposite side, so then again there can be an issue in a relationship of theirs. And if you see the formation of number four, if you observe it carefully, that there's a straight line and then there's another line coming which comes and cuts that straight line. Which, like at times certain things have certain meanings. In the same way, number four, when written in such a way, it is considered as though it is something which is trying to stand against you or stand against someone else. It's like revolt. It's like going against a system and you wanting to stand against anything that you don't like. So that formation of that number shows that. Number four, they are quite critical also. I mean, because they're so observant and if they observe anything, they usually do not go with things easily. They would find something critical about whatever is happening around them. Like, for example, in number two, we said that it's a complementary number, it complements the sun. But number four is not a number that complements with any number besides number one. And it's an objective number. It's like it has a reason to object to everything that is happening around that number, and it's just natural. It's the number's fault. It is not the person's fault for being like that. It is the number that makes you do things and not your own. Since you're born with that day and that date, you cannot change anything about it. So whatever traits that day has, the number, that naturally is going to be a part of you. And number fours, if you talk about their body language, it's slightly different from other people. Like, usually when you see them or you meet them suddenly, they will have their expressions are not going to be as though they've just come to meet you nice. There will be a question mark, or there'll be curiosity on their face, or there will be something that they are very keen to know about, which they feel that they should know, but they are not being told about it. So this tendency they have, and due to this also, when, like, for example, they go to the market to do shopping and a salesman's job is to sell his products of the shop that he is working in, he may convince that person as much as he wants regarding the shopping a certain thing, and at times they do exaggerate a bit about the product, the salesman. But they are so smart, number four people, the whoever is born on a number four, that they don't get swayed easily or convinced easily till they don't have that feeling from within that they are content with doing that shopping or buying from that person. I mean, a salesman having the best PR skills would not be able to convince a number four so easily because they can't be fooled so easily. They're very smart. They're very bright that way. As I was saying, that they don't get convinced with the shopkeeper. And at times when you shop, when anybody goes shopping, they it's not necessary that you have to get into an argument with the shopkeeper or the salesman or anybody. But they are the kinds, they can't keep quiet about anything. If they find that they are being made a fool of, or the quality is inferior or anything, they will go make all ends meet to fight with those people. So they don't know where to stop, and they are very, you can say, they're short tempered also. That is the reason why they don't watch what they say, because when they start talking, they don't think. They just take off and they say whatever they want. And that is because that time they are not in a good mood, or maybe that thing has raised their temperament to a level of temper, and they express it also. Their body language also, like, it shows attitude, arrogance. Their temperament also, like, you know, there are certain times when people in life have to not voice certain things where it's not required. Certain places you have to remember to be quiet. But they are the ones who will be the first ones to jump up and say anything. If they don't like something in somebody's house, they will voice it. If they don't like anybody cooking anything, or they've gone to a hotel or restaurant and the food is not good, everybody may adjust to it quietly and eat it, but they will be the first ones to create a ruckus about it. Ki there's a major problem in it. Why? Because this planet is a different planet. Its traits are different. Behavior is different, due to which they do not even come to know when and how they are reacting to situations. And fault finders, in a way, like, things could be avoided, but they think, no, it's best to say it now. कह दो. They don't realize कि कहने से भी कुछ नहीं होता. One doesn't change. If someone has kept his house or anything in a certain way, he's going to continue staying in that way. So what is the point of telling anybody or correcting anybody for things which they are just hearing you but will not do anything about it? So number 4, don't get disheartened. There are nice things also that I'm going to tell you in the next video. Just now I've just told you that it is a difficult number and a planet, and of course has a lot of other advantages which we will talk about in the next video on birth number 4. Till then, let's get prepared for birth number 5 and its traits. Bye and thank you.